Ask and you shall receive. It's a sprint weekend in Monaco. Hello everyone, welcome back to AHGP, welcome back to the channel. I'm managing Mercedes on F1 Manager and we are a few days away from the Monaco Grand Prix, a sprint weekend in Monaco, no less. But immediately we have a problem. Side pods have failed on the car, on both cars, and suspension has failed on Lewis Hamilton's car. So we're going to have to emergency manufacture some more parts like we did in the previous episode. Which, by the way, go and check out the Spanish Grand Prix and also check out all of this season's videos. I'll leave a link to the entire playlist for season 1 and 2 somewhere up in the top right, which is this way, I think. So, if you have a look here, we do have a new suspension design coming online. So we're going to have to emergency manufacture that, but we do now need to emergency manufacture these new side pods. So they came through, but they won't be done in time for Monaco unless we emergency manufacture them, which is going to cost $3.5 million, which really isn't good, but we haven't got much choice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, needs must. And then when this suspension part comes through, I will emergency manufacture that. The refurbishment of the team hub is complete. Suspension design is sorted. Okay, let's manufacture. If I rush it, it's going to take 14 days to complete it. But we can just do an emergency manufacture. So it's another $2.5 million. So that totals, what, it was 3.6, that's $4 million, $6 million we've just splashed out on emergency parts. But if we get a podium, then it's worth it. Championship-wise, as we head into the weekend, we are trying to close the gap on Red Bull. They're on 263 points. We're on 186. That's something like 77-point difference, I think. I haven't got a calculator. Well, I have, but I'm not going to sit here and do it. In the drivers, George Russell, 1 point now behind Sergio Perez. So that battle is closing up. Perez has been on the podium 5 times. Russell only 3, but does have 2 race wins to his name. Lewis Hamilton getting his second podium last time out in Spain. So, it's a sprint weekend, which means we get 1 practice session ahead of qualifying, and then the cars are locked into Parc Fermé, which is annoying. But then we're going to be straight into qualifying. So I'm going to zip through to Q3. I will see you there, and hopefully we'll be going for a really good spot on the grid for the sprint, which in the game, unlike in real life, sets the grid for the race. So I'm expecting multiple red flags this weekend. Hopefully we're not involved in any of the chaos. We can come through it and get a really, really good result. So here is Hamilton, who of course sets a purple first sector. George Russell finally finding some pace, having been bested for much of the session so far by Hamilton. Purple first sector for George Russell. Middle sector for Lewis is fast. Russell actually quicker. So Hamilton suddenly off the boil in Q3. He goes fastest on a 9.6 and Russell goes almost half a second faster. Alright, final laps of qualifying in Monaco. George Russell has gone out ahead of Lewis Hamilton for this run. We've dropped to 4th and 6th because Alonso's gone 3rd. Hamilton tumbling down the order, but he has improved in the first sector. Russell without an improvement. Hamilton coming through the tunnel. Actually got a little bit of traffic there. I think that might be Alonso. Russell, personal best in the middle sector. I'm expecting Hamilton a yellow sector indeed. Yeah, he's lost 0.4 compared to Russell. George Russell doesn't go any quicker. So it looks like Verstappen will be on pole position. Hamilton goes 5th. For a second, I thought he was staying 8th. But there's other drivers who are still going to complete a lap. Sainz goes 7th. Verstappen improves his time. Leclerc is 10th. Okay, so a Stroll gets in between us. That's not ideal. So 4th and 6th for Mercedes. Aston Martin performing well around Monaco. Maybe they were the team I was looking for earlier on. That are excelling around low speed corners. Look at Lewis Hamilton's times. A 9 flat in Q1. 9.4 and a 9.5. This lap was just superb. That was a Lewis lap. And if he'd produced that, he'd be 3rd in Q3. That's incredibly frustrating. Alright, it's sprint day in Monaco. I think there's only one option to start with tyres, and that is soft tyres. Because you've got, how many laps is it? 30 laps to do. They won't survive on aggressive. Maybe that's a risk then. Is that a risk we'd need to take? We've got fresh softs. Actually, I'm going to go mediums. Change of heart late here on the in the garage at Mercedes for tyres, because then we can at least be aggressive with them pretty much the entire way. I can't believe we're doing this. This could be chaos, or it could be a borefest. This sprint, let's see. It could be absolute mayhem. Alright, let's do a motor race. It looks like the Red Bulls are on softs. They might have to manage their tyres a bit more. Lights are out. The race is on. Hamilton losing a position by the look of it. I can't really see anything. It's just cars everywhere. We've got a yellow flag. Who's crashed? Hülkenberg has crashed. Russell is side by side with Alonso. Can't get through. What's everyone done tyre-wise? We are literally the only team on mediums as Russell gets up the inside into the hairpin. Can he make it stick? No, Alonso has the inside line through Portier and hangs on into the tunnel. But hopefully this will come back to us because the tyres will last a bit more. At least we've held position off the line. And once DRS kicks in, hopefully we'll be able to find a way through. Okay, so instead of catching Alonso, which we almost did, and now we've fallen 2.2 seconds back, we are under pressure from Lance Stroll, just about holding off the Canadian there. Hamilton not making much progress either. Tyre-wise, we are in a better position. Hopefully this race does come to us. Hamilton needs to push to close in on Stroll, which he is doing. We're asking to attack on the tyres, so we can now set him up for the overtake. Let's go high overtake aggression, and then when we get to Larascas, we'll hit deploy and we'll get him to drive in clean air now. So let's see, can Lewis Hamilton find a way past the Aston Martin? Up the inside, through goes Hamilton. Can we make it stick? Yes, we can. That's a position gain for Lewis Hamilton. Now we need to press on and leave the Aston Martin behind, which he is doing. All right, into the Rascas. One more time. 15 laps to go. We do need to save some fuel. Come on, George, you can get through there. Damn it. Maybe up the hill? Maybe up the hill? No. Okay, we've got about 9 laps remaining. Russell is still driving in clean air. I've forgotten to take that off. Is Hamilton off as well? Yeah, that's fine. So, we've saved fuel, which means we can now turn everything up when we want to go for the overtake to make it stick. There is traffic in the form of Nico Hülkenberg, which hopefully will get out of the way quickly. But he's actually boxing Fernando Alonso in here. Maybe we can do it now. Let's see. Can Russell go for it out of the tunnel? Alonso can't get through. Maybe there's no point doing it here. He's going to have a look into Tabak just to let him know he's there. Hulkenberg gets out the way, and Russell is... Oh, he's just going to get stuck. God. Thank you very much, Hulkenberg. Get out the way. The lap traffic is terrible in this game. You saw in the last episode that we spent an entire lap behind Zhou Guanyu for no reason. He can get out the way here. He just needs to pull over. And this is killing our chances of catching Alonso. We're losing nearly 2 seconds to the Aston Martin. This is infuriating. Get out the way, Hulk. Dude. Oh, this is... Frontier, you need to fix this. Because this is just not acceptable. So we basically got to do an overtake on a back marker. We've lost 2.5 seconds to Alonso here. George Russell has had to use all of his battery just to get past a back marker who doesn't even yield. And that's got damage. This is stupid. And look, Hamilton has the same problem. This is just absolutely outrageous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hulkenberg. Oh, I'd like to use some words, but I won't because children might be watching. And my mum taught me better. Anyway, Russell has magically zoomed up to the back of Alonso. Can we find a way past and just surprise him? We're going to lose points to Red Bull, so we need to minimise that damage. And Russell is all over the back of the Aston Martin. Hamilton still can't get past. Are we going to get finally past the back marker? Looks just about yes. Right, now we can sort Alonso out in terms of passing him. Can we get past Alonso? No, he moves across and blocks Russell. So I think we're going to have to settle for 4th and 5th unless Russell's going for it. Can he make it through on the last lap? Into the chicane? No. So we're going to finish behind the Aston Martin and we're going to have to come back again on race day to try and get ahead of the Aston Martin. I've misclicked there and completely missed the finish. Whoops. Anyway, 4th and 5th. Just proof that Monaco is not fit for these cars. Well, these cars don't fit Monaco at least. Still. Ferrari didn't get... Well, they got 1 point with Carlos Sainz. We've got a few with Russell and Hamilton. But that pesky Alonso fella, we need to sort him out tomorrow. Okay, race day in Monaco, and we've got some rain that is set to hit the circuit. Let's have a look at when it's going to come. Somewhere around lap 25, which set softs would probably make, but we'd be a bit ropey if it came a bit later. So maybe go mediums, because then we can use them a little bit deeper into the race, because it's not an exact science, as we know. The rain can be forecast and sometimes it just doesn't turn up. So with that in mind, let's underfuel a bit, because we'll get to recover the fuel when the rain comes. I think if this phase is dry at the end. We've got a set of softs that we can use. 4th and 5th on the grid. We need to sort out Alonso early doors. And hopefully we can get after the Red Bulls. Let's see what this strategy comes out with. Let's do a motor race. Okay, the Red Bulls lock out the front row again. We've got 5 red lights. They're out and the race is on. Hamilton immediately darts out to get a look at Alonso being overtaken by George Russell. Have we made it stick? We have. Russell moves immediately to 3rd position. And we need Hamilton to do exactly the same.
Let's go for it. Understood.
Russell will put you on high overtake aggression because we also need to deal with Verstappen, or Perez, who's on hards. Lots of mediums, a few softs. Let's make sure we don't destroy the tyres. Yellow flag. Red flag! Well!
Red flag.
This is a turn up for the books. We've got a red flag. Sonoda. Oh, and that's a McLaren, and they are very much in the way. That's one broken AlphaTauri. Is that Lando Norris he's collided with? Yeah, Norris was on the softs. So Norris's Monaco race is done. And there's dismay in the AlphaTauri garage. So, red flag. Sure. There's only one option now. And that's to put the softs on and get the jump. Because if we can get into the lead, we can manage the tyres. Hamilton has got 2 sets of softs to use and, well, 4 here available that are in reasonable condition. So this hopefully will get Hamilton past Alonso. But what does the AI do? Do they go to softs as well? Let's see. Alright, back on the grid in Monaco. 5 red lights for the 3rd time this weekend. And off we go. Russell has got himself into 2nd position. What's Hamilton doing? He's up the inside. We need to deploy with both cars. Russell hasn't made it stick. Not yet, at least. Yeah, he's lost it. But Hamilton is going around Alonso. He's through. It's a beautiful move. Tyre-wise, the Red Bulls are also on softs. And look at this car park. Oh, Hamilton's lost the position. Quick, get back through. Push on the fuel.
And think about the shifting coast.
There we go. Through goes Hamilton. And now we are in position to fight with Red Bull. Wheel to wheel through Portier. And that extra traction paying dividends for us against the Aston Martin. Finally, we're ahead of Alonso. Okay, so Verstappen is making a break for it. The red flag has drastically changed the weather, and it's basically it's set to arrive in about 10 laps time, maybe lap 15. It's going to be about timing that stop. If we can beat Red Bull to the punch and get ahead of them through the pit stops onto inters, we could be laughing. The rain is about a minute away, but it's going to take a little while to sort of get wet enough for inters. And it's actually here now. The rain begins on lap 13.
Okay, copy.
So let's keep an eye on this metric over here, the millimetres of fluid on the circuit. Russell now back within DRS. This could be the key moment, although it looks like there's going to be another switch to slicks late on. That window has opened up. Where would Hamilton come out if we pitted him? He'd come out 19th. So we could do that with Hamilton. We could pit a little bit early and try and maybe put him in clear air at the back of the pack and really go for it. Let's top up his battery
I just have to think about getting the pack
so that we could do maybe an undercut with the inters. Okay, the dampness is starting to pick up, so I might have left this too late. I'm going to bring Hamilton in now. Does he pull in? No. Left it too late. Let's see, does anyone else pull in? No. Hamilton comes into the pit lane. This could be a race-winning move, or it could be very costly. It's slightly slow, only 3.5, but
sorry about that.
it could have been a lot worse. So I think he'll come out right at the back here. He's going to come out just behind Magnussen, actually. So we need to deploy and push, and we need the rain to start falling. We're going to call Russell in now and have him try and undercut as well and see what Red Bull do to respond. They haven't responded, so we're going to be on the inters. Hamilton's actually really slow at the moment. This probably was a lap too early. There's Russell, but at 0.8 millimeters, the inters start being a bit quicker. We've gone early onto these inters, and hopefully it will pay off for us later on. Now I think the inters are going to be faster. So Russell is he closing the gap? Yeah, here we go. Now it's over 0.8 of a millimeter. We're going to be quicker, but Red Bull are staying out. Everybody in the midfield coming in now. This could be huge. What's the gap to the leaders? 25 seconds for Russell. So we'd lose time to them. Verstappen's in. Is it a good stop? Yes, it is. Perez, we might just be able to undercut. All right, where's Perez? Clear. Well clear. So that's not worked out, but what hasn't happened is we haven't lost position to an Alonso or a Leclerc. So we can hopefully catch the Red Bulls up in a little bit, and we'll get to try again. All right, lap 45. We are up behind Perez again, but I have gone through and set up strategy for both drivers. I'll probably go balanced on Russell's fuel there. So Hamilton's got that fresh set of softs to go to, which he will do as the track now is dry, but there's more rain on the way, so ignore that. Hamilton will go to those slicks, those soft slicks. Russell's going to go to a set of mediums, because then he can absolutely abuse them to the end of the race. Hamilton will be able to do the same, but we'll have to manage the temperatures a little bit more with him. Verstappen now really putting a wriggle on to open up his lead. He's 10.5 seconds clear of his teammate, and looking like he's going to take the win away from everybody else. But that change to slicks could be pivotal. I don't know what the tyre situation is for the other teams, so if we can get Russell past Perez, that might be helpful, because we could think about closing the gap to Verstappen. Can he do it? Oh, down the outside. Here goes George Russell. Can we get through? Yes! George Russell into second position. Fantastic move from George Russell. And remember, these two are separated by a point in the driver's standings, so whoever finishes ahead becomes Verstappen's challenger-in-chief. Job well done by George Russell. Now we can hopefully begin to open up a gap. Lewis can start closing down Perez as well. Alright, the rain has stopped. The track is going to begin drying now. This is the optimal pit stop lap for Lewis Hamilton, but it's not ready for dries just yet.
So stop and charge.
But the track is going to dry pretty quickly, so just watch it here on the right hand side. starting to dry out. Russell 10 seconds off of Verstappen. We need to get Hamilton in first, I think, to maximise those soft tyres. Verstappen's actually in first, as is Perez. Right, Hamilton, we've just missed the window with him, so this hasn't worked out well. Where's that fresh set of softs? There it is. It's just missed the window. Track now dry. Russell takes the lead. Verstappen onto a set of mediums, it would look like. Is he on board? Yeah, there he is. And Perez onto a set of softs. Are we going to be ahead of Leclerc? I think we should be alright. Ahead of Leclerc. Double stack at Mercedes. And Hamilton was a little bit slow in getting away there. Was there traffic? Okay, so now the chase is on. But we've lost position to Perez again. So, looks like second place is the best we can really hope for. So I have been trying to catch Perez, but I don't think we're really able to. We're now stuck behind. Is that Hulkenberg again? No, it's not. It's the other Haas of Magnussen. But Perez just did a 10.9, pulled 7/10 on Russell. That might have been traffic, but we haven't been able to catch Perez there. Hamilton is going quickly. He's doing 11 flats at the moment. But we just haven't had quite enough pace to bridge that gap to Red Bull. We are probably about the same pace as them. Verstappen making the difference in their car. So we need to continue developing our machine to the point where we have a clear advantage that if they get on track, we can catch them. At the moment, we can't. And we need to consider the fuel there. We might maybe just deploy with Russell here and just cook the tyres, because they'll make it to the end. And there we go. We are now in DRS range on Perez. And we can try and get second place. And it would get Russell second in the Drivers' Championship as well. Driving clean air. We've done it once before. And Perez moves to defend. But can Russell squeeze up the inside? No, not there. Okay, let's settle for now for third. And then we'll have another go. Alright, Russell is still on the gearbox of the Red Bull, but there is a Sir Lewis Hamilton very much on the charge. He was 1.3 seconds quicker than Perez last time around. Only Verstappen in the lead was quicker. Gap's down to just 2.3 seconds. We could still have two Mercedes on the podium. But we do need to get... That would mean Russell needs to get past Perez, and then Hamilton would need to do the same. 3 laps to go. Can Russell find his way through this time? Here we go. He's thrown the dummy, and through goes George Russell. The Russell shuffle gets him back to second position. He chops off the Red Bull's nose.
Nice one.
Yeah, nice one indeed.
Nice work. That's P2.
That's second position, and now Hamilton, who is much quicker than Perez, can have a go as well. Could yet see two Mercedes drivers on the podium. Let's push. Can he get through? DRS is open, and he's not close enough. We'll have to conserve the fuel so he gets to the finish.
Just need a little more lift and coast.
But let's see, he's swarming everywhere to try and get through.
One remaining.
Come on, Lewis, can we get 2 Mercs on the podium in Monaco. Hasn't been seen since probably 2016. Don't think we're going to see it today. Still struggling to conserve that fuel.
Understood.
So we'll just have to back off. So Verstappen has won the race, but George Russell claims another podium. And Hamilton finishes just a second behind Perez. We gave Red Bull a run for their money.
Yeah, good job.
There's certainly more to come from Mercedes. 32 seconds we put on Leclerc.
Really happy with that result. Thank you so
So that's good news that Ferrari are solidly in the mud again. But a podium at Monaco for George Russell. He'll be very pleased with that. His first around the Principality streets. And reason to celebrate again in the Mercedes garage. We're only here for George Russell. His 4th podium of the season. Job well done for George and by the Mercedes team. Leclerc did pull the fastest lap of the race, but I suppose he could because he had nothing really to fight for in terms of it wouldn't really affect his race. So, Drivers' Championship, George Russell moves up to 2nd position. It's actually level pegging with Sergio Perez. I forgot about the points scored in the sprint. So, Russell's 2 wins have him ahead. In the Constructors, we've actually lost ground to Red Bull quite significantly because they won the sprint 1st and 2nd. So it's a big ask to challenge them for the Constructors' Championship, but if we can continue developing the car well, then we've certainly got an opportunity to do so. Well, that was the sprint weekend in Monaco. Not quite as wild and wacky as I thought it might be, but there was definitely the red flag that threw a curveball in the race. So if you want to see more sprint weekend action, make sure you tune in for the next episode, which is in Canada, another sprint weekend. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more F1 Manager videos from me. And I'll see you next time. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.